Diving back into the Raimi Tapert well, with Hercules and Xena ending in 2000 and 2001, the duo wanted to keep producing TV series, so two shows were created to replace them. Jack of All Trades, starring Bruce Campbell and Angela Dotchin, with the second Cleopatra 2525. They both ran back-to-back. They were 2 half-hour shows, made as extreme opposites. Jack was set in the year 1801, with Cleopatra the more interesting in 2525. One of the main things Raimi wanted this go-around was to get Gina Torres. The TLDR from my Mantis review, Raimi had left that series production after it was greenlit to become a series, but the cast was completely changed against his original plan for the show. One of the bigger losses was Gina Torres. That's why Torres popped up in various episodes of Hercules. Raimi finally got her to star in this. Cleo is just one of those series that people don't really remember. They had great luck with Hercules and Xena, but once they were gone, everything kind of fell off a cliff. That doesn't mean the shows aren't good. When you first look at Cleopatra, the first thing that comes to mind is it's filled with cheesecake. That's the generic appeal of the show. Does it actually have a story? Yes. Yes, it does. That's the one thing you have to trust from Tapert and Raimi. They're not going to make a show that has no soul. It's going to be filled with endless amounts of corny jokes, but it will also have a fun story for you to enjoy the characters with. What is the show actually about? As the title says, it's the year 2525. At some point in the future, Earth was invaded by a biomechanical race called the Bailies. Their purpose? To eradicate all humans. With humans being hunted, survivors began building underground caverns, which became cities of shafts and tunnels. Society thriving in some fashion, with some areas trying to reform things from the past. Like there's one level that is Christmas themed. All of the surface was wiped out, so most things like holidays, movies, history are all lost. It's been 500 years, so if anyone survived from the surface war, all that history is poof. We really don't get to see the devastation in any grand scale, but we have to assume over the 500 years, cities were overgrown. The series follows Hell, or Helen Carter. The show loves music references, which got lost in the DVD releases, thanks to them replacing the music. Rose, or Sarge as her friends call her.
You just got sarged.
Along with Cleo. They're a part of this organization, if you can call it that, run by the mysterious Voice. She formed these various teams in the underground in order to stop Bailies at any cost. For rescue missions, testing new tech against them. In the first episode, a new shield was developed. Steal Bailey weapons, understand them more. Each of the ladies brought their style. Hell was chosen as leader with her calm and compassionate nature in protecting people. While she has to take life-threatening jobs being a part of Voice's army, she will not just walk into death. She will question Voice, make damn sure their lives aren't being wasted. It's a personal thing she's had from experience. Her family was killed or went missing, and she didn't want anyone else to suffer the pain she goes through. One of the main reasons why she joined Voice, even when she doesn't fully trust her, would you really trust someone when they themselves don't show their face? She does it so she can get a chance to find her missing father. That pain drives her, drives the whole team. But this tends to affect their judgment in moments. Everyone knows Hell is a big softie. Lots of people take advantage of her. Cregan being the biggest one. He's the main human baddie. He's this guy who will do anything, use anyone to gain power or to get rid of. One of his main goals is to expose Voice and get rid of her by using Hell and her team. A Sam Raimi series has to have its comic book nods. He's very much modeled after the Joker. Not as far as killing people out of insanity, but the commanding evil and twisted plots, that's there. He even wears a clown getup. You despise the character to no end, not just because he's evil. He plans to almost work so many times, like he used Hell's father and made a hologram of him, almost tricking her. At the same time, there are moments where he helps out and does some good things. And we'll make an argument in why you shouldn't trust Voice that's sometimes convincing. Cregan gets a decent amount of focus. It's a shame the series didn't go on longer. I could see them making him turn good at some point. Second in command is Sarge. She has the most experience of the surface world. She's grown up as a scavenger, taking whatever she could back and forth with her sister. The most conflicted character of this show. The Baileys aren't just floating fortresses. Some humans worship them like gods. They will turn on people at a whim. That's how the Baileys infiltrate the underworld, by using turned humans and cyborgs that look human. With her sister being one of them. Day in and day out, she's trying to rescue her any which way she can. Sarge will do anything to complete missions. In some cases, I see her wanting a death wish. She will do reckless things that almost get her killed. She goes undercover, she'll do it. Murder someone, she'll do it. Doesn't really care for people past her team. Hell has to rein her in many times. She almost let Cleo just die in the first episode. That's how much she doesn't care. I think the adage of misery loves company fits with the show perfectly, which is where Cleopatra is needed. Her story, one day she went in to get a boob job, complications happened, so she was frozen to deal with her later. The next time she woke up, it was 525 years later.
What the?
We watch the series through her perspective. Going from having cosmetic surgery to running for your life is a game changer. She doesn't gracefully fall into the roles. She is one of the reasons you would pass on the series. You have to get used to her screaming for a while. She's the most annoying character. What does she give to the team? She's the moral support and the audience POV. She'll point out the absurdity that they do. Hal and Sarge are jumping and falling down tunnels like it's nothing, using non-copyright Spider-Man web shooters, energy shields, have a reprogrammed betrayer robot that helps them, some woman that only talks to Hal in her earpiece. But Cleo learns the hard way in surviving, and she gets better at it, using all her talents to avoid getting killed and helping out her friends. She has this ability to mimic people's voices, so they use her as distractions. They even use her naive nature in tricking bad guys. She has that face and personality like a child. You're confused why the show is titled after her at first, but she eventually works her way up to being a good member of the team. For their assistant Mauser, who was a reprogrammed betrayer bot, he's the ancillary character, mainly at the base, figuring out Bailey tech, a backup link to voice. He doesn't get many episodes to him, but he's important overall. There are times you worry, will he go bad again? Can he be hacked? Does he feel like a human? All those common sci-fi tropes are here and done. In the beginning, they really didn't care about Mauser. He's just a tool that got blown up and repaired multiple times, but he grew on them. They trusted him more, so he eventually became the fourth main cast member. As for the conundrum voice, she's a mystery throughout the whole series. We got lucky with her being revealed at the end of the second season. Her motivations on why she does what she does aren't known. We know she's hard on people, sees them as expendable. There are episodes where she orders one team to kill human targets, takes any advantage she can get. It's why Cleo was allowed to stay around. But you know she has some skeletons inside her closet. No one in the show is perfect. Everyone is hiding something. It's a big mystery on this whole situation. It's what makes 2525 very different from Hercules. That can also be the biggest thing against it. It's full of comedy and funny moments, but it's mostly a bleak series. You might not like it for that reason. One of the bigger issues the show had at the end was being changed to an hour format. When Jack was canned in the middle of its second season, 2525 was extended. The show didn't work as a full hour. That extra 20 minutes did not help out most episodes. I don't know if it was because they had to fill in shows already written. You got bored in a lot of them. As for the ending, not to spoil too much, but it left us watching Voices teams doing an all-out assault on the Bailies. We have no idea if they survived or not. For what they came up with, I think Cleopatra is a good series on its own. It's not a dumb, pointless show. You like all the characters eventually. What really harmed it, I think, it coming off the hype of the other two series, and it was slow building up the universe. If you love action comedy shows, by all means check it out. It won't impress in the effects department, but watching Cleo go from caring about her figure, Hell being overprotective and Sarge being ruthless, to all working together to stop some alien robot monsters is a fun popcorn journey. There's one really good episode where Cleo gets sent back to 2001. We get to see her original life and what she left behind, while Hal and Sarge try to get her back. The only thing they were missing was getting Carl Lumbly to do an episode. Don't worry, I will be doing a review on Jack of All Trades eventually. I need to get familiar with the series. It's the one Tapert Raimi show I never watched. Thanks for checking out the video. Subscribe if you want to see more from me, and if you remember a movie or a show that's long been forgotten, good or bad, leave it as a suggestion below. I'm always on the lookout for obscure stuff.